Hey, everybody, it's your girl, author Doc B. She's in the building. And guess what? We have a special treat for you tonight. So please click like and share. You don't want to miss this episode now, okay? Happy Mother's Day to everyone. And thank you all for joining. Uh, Let me tell you about Bring It to the Table. It's a safe space. It's a safe space where anyone can come who have overcome, conquered, and survived anything and is living beyond your dreams. And there's plenty of things that you can survive. We all know that this podcast was an offspring from my book, The Three C's. So if you haven't gotten your copy, please go to www.author.doc, be like boy, and purchase yours today. Don't forget my workbook. By the way, October, November, and December 2023, The Three C's, How I Survived Crack, Cancer, and COVID-19 was Amazon's bestseller. Number one bestseller, yep, in the self-help category. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring on our guest tonight, who is someone near and dear to my heart. And we are going to chop it up tonight. And I'm going to make some things clear the moment she comes on, okay? Hi, Miss T.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I sure
Hey,
can.
happy Mother's Day, dear.
Happy Mother's Day, Mommy.
Happy Mother's Day, my love. How you doing? How was your day?
The day was really cool. I got to do some things with the kids. Well, we went to lunch and they surprised me with some goodies this morning. So it was a really good
Oh, I'm
day
sure.
with
I'm
them.
pretty sure. I'm sure they
Having all
did.
three
Those
of them
kids.
here, Jazz at school, so I was able to get him for a couple days. So it's always good to see my big boy, really my young man, right?
Oh my God, is he ever? Is he ever such a young man? He is. So, ladies and gentlemen, so I've been getting this is what I've been going on with me in the last few minutes. I got a special delivery. That's one. And then I went downstairs, folks, and I got picked up these. Aren't they beautiful? So if you're not honoring your mother while she's here and giving her flowers while she's here, shame on you. Shame on you.
It's
Okay?
a small token of my love, and they was a little early because I wanted them to stop the podcast and do it.
You wanted me
um,
to just like
but
halt.
I wanted you to get up and go to the door, but it was successful. So,
Go
I couldn't take you
to
out. Distance is separating
the
us right
door.
now. One second. Distance is separating us right now, and during
Yeah,
this
it really
time, you
was.
just
My internet
want.
is acting up.
It is. What about mine? Is mine okay? Is it glitchy? Because mine can get crazy too.
But I think mine's is, yeah, I think both of ours is doing it, but it don't matter because whatever people is supposed to hear, they're gonna hear. Trust me.
Got it.
And then
Period.
they can always go back and view it later. Thank you all for joining. I see you. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, everybody. Please click like and share and invite someone to the podcast. This is what we call a pop-up podcast. No
Yes.
planning.
No
No planning.
planning.
Pop-up means,
Straight off the
here we
cuff.
are.
Yes,
And
straight off the cuff.
mm-hmm, and,
Improv. And
and
just
here's the
saying it like we
mm-hmm,
mean it.
mm-hmm. And here's the truth that I want to clear one thing up because I told somebody what the topic was, and the first thing they was like, "Oh, are you gonna do that?" Yes, I am gonna do that. Why? Because I can do that. I can do that. And what that person did not know is all the work that we have been doing on ourselves to bring us to this moment where we can be honest and open and most importantly transparent about the part
Hmm.
we play in each other's lives throughout the years. And see,
Right.
and that's one of the reasons I believe we decided to have this talk openly live in front of the whole
Mhm.
world,
Right.
because these tough conversations people are just not having in their family systems. And then
Right.
therefore they end up suffering medical stuff. What some of the things, right? medical
Right.
stuff, suffering with education,
Financial, educate,
right?
yep. Medical,
Co-
financial,
right,
education,
career
career,
choices, yeah, and
parenting style.
mhm, all that, all that stuff. And so,
Boy,
I'll start by saying this. I'm glad you had a happy Mother's Day. You got my gift, and I
I
don't need to
did.
tell the world because
Thank you
everybody knows.
so much.
Oh, girl, please drop in the bucket. You already know. I come up, you come up. That's the way it's been, folks, for
Yeah.
us. I don't know about nobody else.
Period.
Um, so please click like and share. Drop your comments in the chat. Some of you may still be out having your Mother's Day, and that's okay too. Just go back and watch it because it's going to be profound. I'm just letting you know. It's going to be some truths, and you may not be able to handle it, but guess what? Oh, thank you, Elroy. Thank you for joining. Happy Mother's Day, he says to us, Shad. Thank you,
Thank
Elroy.
you.
That's a stop and
Hi, Elroy.
that's a stop and cement
Okay,
point
great
right there.
stuff.
Yeah, that's my boy. He been he don't miss. He
Yes.
don't miss. He's here all the time.
But I definitely wanted my presence to be felt, and I wanted you to know that you are appreciated, and I love you, and I honor you, and yes, all of the things that you talked about as far as how far our relationship has come, and not that it was so crazy, crazy. We've had crazy experiences and crazy moments, but the relationship has always been top tier. It's always been stellar. Even during your active addiction days, there was just a unbreakable thing that people just couldn't understand. I wasn't just leaving you nowhere. Like,
Right.
no. And so that's just how we've been rocking and rolling ever since. And like I said, I couldn't take you anywhere or spend that time, but I wanted you to feel my presence and have a different experience with a different type of food. And when I saw those flowers that I chose, it brightened like up my day. It made me smile. And that's literally what you do
Baby.
for me every time we have a conversation. It
Oh,
just brightens up my day, man. And I want to make sure that I can, if I can, I'm going to send you as many flowers as I can for as long as you can smell them, because I don't want to wait until it's too late. So I love you so much. And thank you for everything that you've ever done for me. And thank you for just being who you are, not just for me, for my kids and for everybody that has ever came into your presence.
yeah.
They all, I've never, like, everybody loves you and your spirit, and they see through it, and they see through your curses when you were cursing.
Oh, yeah, because I don't curse no more, folks. Now get that right here tonight on to the table. Stop
They see
cussing.
your
You know,
genuine
went over. I done touched the holy soil and bam. Oh, because everybody know I was a cusser. You know, I was what we call a
Well, you get it
hellraiser,
from your mama.
and everybody else in my family. We was a cussing family. Well,
Ooh.
one thing happened is when I became educated, I realized later on after the doctorate, I felt like I've learned enough words to put in
Mhm,
place of a curse word. I just don't really need to do it no more. It's
mhm,
just not,
mhm.
it doesn't, it would behoove me if I just don't, period. Especially
Got
if you
you.
say you're trying to get to a better place in
Right.
the hereafter. If you believe in the hereafter, you know, you trying to get to a better place. So then you
Absolutely.
want to start the preparation for that and
Mhm.
cutting back on sins and cussing and things that I already got enough going on in the mindset by itself in terms of sin. So
Okay.
at least I could chop off the cussings because my brain still is operating saying, you know, push her down the stairs because you really just don't even like her for whatever reason. But then I don't, and then I have to repent from that as well. But that's work that I've
Ooh.
been doing on myself, and that's just the way it is. You know, I've been
Mhm.
literally doing that type of work on myself. So, and I thank God for the 12-step program that I belong to because those are the people,
Period.
and because we know church, we know Jesus, and all that stuff. That's how
Right.
we grew up. That's our roots.
Right.
That's where the root is at. You know, so we know all of that stuff, but that stuff ain't stopped me from smoking crack.
Mhm,
It ain't
mhm,
stopped me from lying, cheating, stealing, manipulating, backstabbing, or none of that.
mhm.
Okay. It wasn't until I got to that 12-step program that I go to that when I say the education, 12-step program, and then becoming a Muslim. Those were the things, the three things. That's the three that
Okay.
changed my life forever. And here's the top one
That
before
sounds
all.
like the next book.
Hey, and don't forget this part though. This is the part. It was them grandbabies. It's something about becoming a grandmother and not wanting them to struggle, suffer. Now they're gonna struggle and they have to. It's a must that they go through something.
Sure,
but
right.
they ain't gotta do what I did, and they sure ain't gotta do what you did. And we can make it as simple and easy as possible for them to make their transition through their life cycle.
Something that I've been saying lately is, in all the decisions that I make, I want my heart's desire is for them to be as less traumatic as possible on them. We don't even realize the trauma that we sometimes inadvertently cause our children through our actions, through our decisions. And if you can just keep that in mind sometimes when we're making these decisions and doing these things, I think we definitely be better off as a community. But that's something that I've definitely been conscious about lately. Like, how would this not affect them as much, or you know what I mean? Just that simple sometimes consideration. Sometimes we forget, but at the same time, we can't allow those considerations to make the decision for us, because sometimes we do have to make certain decisions, that could impact our children negatively, whether it's negatively now or in their future as adults, because we're not perfect and we don't always make all the marks and cross every T and dot every I,
Right.
So
correct.
It really does depend on the parent and the child. And you're not going to, as a mom of multiple, I've learned it's impossible to treat and parent every child the same. All that, I love all my children the same. That's a lie. Now let's jump into the things that our mamas told us versus what they didn't tell us.
Don't get me started.
And this is where this comes up for me. My child, my daughter, Glam, likes to ask me, "Am I your favorite? Am I the favorite?"
Oh no!
I'm like, where is this coming from? Am I the favorite? And I have to be honest and say yes. And I'll tell you why. Because you were the one I prayed for. I prayed for you. I knew that I was ready and I needed, and I feel like God knew I needed you. But it is my boys that really showed me my superpowers. It is my boys that really showed me my abilities as a mom. It is my boys that built that confidence in me to say, okay, God, maybe I can have another one. And you know what? Yeah, she got to be a girl. Because I was like, if I got a third boy now, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this.
And then not only your boys too, I know that you found comfort in knowing that you had the support. You had the support with your parents and grandparents saying, you know what, you got this, you can do it. Because my mother had 6, which only made me want to have 1. You see what I'm saying? Made me only want to have 1. And so I understand, I understand. And then to be able to have support, because that's what the book is all about. Who supported me through every stage of my recovery? Who supported me through every stage of my life? Where the foundation was laid in the roots. Hey, Nay.
Hey.
Where the foundation was laid in the roots, where all of that came from, where my strength came from. You know what I mean? That's what my book was all about. Who helped me get where? and how they helped me. Because
Mhm.
even when I moved down south, we can talk about that for a little bit. When I moved, you put this thing inside of me before I left that says, "Mama, I'm still here." And but this was maybe a year earlier, but it's just going to look a little different. I took
Mhm.
that and ran when it was easy for me to make my decision once you said that to me. It
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
easy for me to say, you know what? I guess I have to, because I can I'll be honest to the audience, because it's transparent. We bringing it to the table. Let's bring it to the
Okay.
table. Uh-huh. My problem was, how do I be the mother of an adult child? And
Mhm.
then I had to keep saying to myself, well, wait a minute. Well, if my of an only child, no, wait, she's not a child. I had to literally get that out of my mind to be able to make moves. And
Mhm.
I wasn't even used to moving without you. I'm talking about in life on the chessboard. Like I wasn't, I didn't, it was uncomfortable
Mhm.
making moves like that, but it was necessary for
Mhm.
both of us.
Right.
Thoughts.
I mean, exactly what you're saying is right. Everything that we've been through, I think, not I think, but I know was necessary. And as you grow, your roles grow, they change. That's something that I've learned too. Even as a mom, and as a mom of multiple, even as a mom of one, you're not going to be the same mom as you were when I was 5 to 10 than you're going to be when I was 15 to 20. Like, you transition, you grow, you mature, and you go into phases as a parent, just like you do, in natural life.
Mhm, mhm,
Just like in parenting multiple children, the way that you parent your first child through their puberty or teenage years probably going to look totally different than how you parent your kid,
mhm,
the second one. And then that's probably going to look totally different than you do, your girl. So it really is just about being active and paying attention to your child and what's going on around them and you,
mhm.
because everybody is going through something all the time. For
All the
some,
time.
you know what I mean? It's just always going to be something. But having that
Mhm,
balance, I think, having the village that we talked about, like, that's why I tell her, yeah, you were my favorite because I prayed for you and I had the confidence in myself and I knew that it was time. Like, I needed this lifelong friend, but I also knew I wasn't doing
yes.
it alone. I know that I wasn't, you know, I knew that I would have the support, and sometimes we still got to make those decisions, even if we're not sure if we're going to have the support, even if we're not sure.
Mm,
Because there's a lot of people out there that want to have families or who already have families and don't have the support of their families. So, do that mean
no.
I got to stop growing my family? Do that mean I got to stop having babies because I can't look to my left and look to my right and call somebody if I need a babysitter? Does that mean I stopped doing, what God put me on earth to do, which was have kids, especially if I can? Does that
Mhm,
mean I become fearful? Does that mean I start to look at my own abilities as a mom
mhm,
because I don't have that person or that the people that other people may have? No. What God has for you is for you.
mhm,
What God has for you is for you. So I think it's about, again, that thing they call self-discernment
mhm,
and knowing yourself.
mhm.
And then when you have children, knowing your children and
Yeah.
allowing the things to flow.
Yeah, allow life to life. Get the life and go on and get the life. And
Right.
I understand. However, some of the things that you just talked about, we didn't. So because the title of the show was, the things that your mother, you just didn't get this stuff from your mother.
Right. And let's
Like
be
you,
clear. Let's be clear, because I
yeah,
said
yeah,
this
yeah.
too in my post, right? When
Okay.
we say that the things that your mother never told you or taught you. It could be for multiple reasons, not because she just didn't want to tell you, because like what mom really don't want, I mean, there's a few out there, let's be clear, but
Uh-huh.
generally speaking, when you are blessed to be a mom, like generally people are not just saying, no, I'm not going to, I don't know everything, right? But I'm not even going to give it a shot. Like once you make that decision to have that baby, you understand that you're giving that child everything that you got.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you may miss a couple things because everything that you have is not the everything. You're
Yeah.
gonna miss some things. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So when I say things like, let's talk about the things that our mothers never taught us, it's not to say, well, my mother didn't teach me this. Because here's the thing, I honestly can't think of a topic that me and you never talked about. Let me start off there. Me and
Right.
you,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
you,
Well, to
like,
the point. Wait. That was really good to start there because we talk about so much to the point where my mother, she's gone now 3 years. Rest well,
rest
mom.
in peace, grandma.
And my mother would say stuff like, "She's not your friend. Do
Mm-hmm.
not you the mother. That's not your friend. You your mother." And saying, I used to give people hell because I wouldn't let nobody tell me, okay, how to raise my child. And here's one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I learned: I was wrong
Mm-hmm.
because it takes a village to
Mm-hmm.
raise a child. And then when them tough times came, because I wouldn't take no stuff from them, what happened for me is I wouldn't go to them for help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was left up to my own devices because I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't let nobody in to help me do nothing. It was only until I got to my 12-step program that I realized, oh, you gotta be open. Cause I shut down and tell the truth.
So that's a piece of advice. That's definitely a tool that you're sharing with people. Like,
Of
be
course,
open.
you
As
have
a
to.
parent, you don't know everything. And that goes back to what I was saying a minute ago, as far as the things that they didn't teach us. It's not because they just didn't want to. Sometimes they just did not have the capacity. Sometimes they
Nope.
just did not have the information to that thing. Or sometimes, they tell you half of the story, and then it never, they don't know the end, because everybody's ending is going to be different. Our stories are going to be different. But
Mhm.
hearing it, at least,
Right.
or knowing what to expect, in certain situations. For example, let's talk about education. What's one of the things that grandma did not tell you about education? Because I remember you used to say to
Oh
me,
God, don't
grandma,
get me started.
you used to say
Don't
grandma used to
start it.
only wanted y'all, as long as you got your high school diploma, she was
That's
satisfied.
it. That was
All
it. My
right. So
mom
now, how do you
demanded.
feel about that? This day
Well,
in
okay.
2024, knowing what education means in this society, your mother told
Yes.
you, come
Yes.
home with a high school education. Now
I
what?
want my high school diploma up there on that mantelpiece right there. It's from 21st Street to 62 Ellis Avenue, all up
All
and down
right.
Hopkins Street.
In a
I'm
hood.
just giving you. I'm
Irvington.
listen. That's where I grew up at. Went to Frank H. Morrell High School, Irvington High School,
Period.
the only public one there. I was one of the first girls to go to Irvington Tech when they in 1981 when they started letting the girls in.
When they
Okay,
integrated the girls. Mm-hmm.
but I was too fresh and grown and got kicked out. Had to go to Irvington High. Ain't that about a blimp? But I was not going. I was not going to give up because my mother instilled that in me. I
Mm-hmm.
need my high school diploma. It was never about working and making money and all that stuff because that was all around us. We already
Just
knew how
getting
to make
bread.
money.
Just
I
getting
already
bread.
knew how to
Right.
make money and get
Without
paid.
education.
All,
Mm-hmm.
without
Right.
education, from selling dope to everything was going on all around me.
Mm-hmm.
Playing cards,
Right.
gambling,
The
fish fries,
gambling, all that.
all that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could make money all day long, but the bottom line is, I was challenged with education. Could I accomplish that goal of
Mm-hmm.
getting my mother that high school diploma? Because I was working
Did
at
you ever
McDonald's.
doubt it yourself? You ever doubt yourself during high school? Like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this. Like,
No. Not one
okay.
time did I doubt. No, in my educational journey, period. But you asked specifically about high school. Those
Mm-hmm.
were some phenomenal years.
Okay.
Phenomenal years. I had no problems except for anybody mess with my sisters. Then I gotta be act like what we act like on the block. But that was it. I had a lot of love and a lot of respect from my high school fellow high school classmates, and I still do even right now today. They call me, "You coming on the cruise? You coming on the cruise? We going on a cruise next year? I'll be there." But the bottom line is no. The answer to your question is no. How about you with high school? Mommy said bring high school diploma home. I gave her exactly that. I went one step up further, went to a couple of classes in community college, and then transferred to American College of Business Institute on Broad Street and got a computer terminal keyboarding certification so that I can now operate computers in where I worked at. And I ended up working there for almost 14 years. How about you? Was it challenging in high school for you?
High school, it was, I want to say probably both. Because that was the years that you became active addiction.
Yeah.
So that had a lot, I feel like that had a lot to do with me. I think academically, I struggled, even though I know I was smart, even though I know, but here's the thing too, I was in a school with other smarties. Everybody in arts had a brain. Everybody in arts
I put that in you. Was that already was education already instilled in you in high school where you knew you had that was something? In fact, we were talking about college.
Yeah, for me it was college. For me, it was college. It was definitely, you were like, you're going to college, period. You're going to college, period. But as I got through high school, I learned that college, first of all, wasn't for everybody. Two, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to get the grades to finish high school to even get into a decent college. And I fought to get into the college of my choices at that time. I even got accepted to the program, like what was that? I did the audition, made it in and all of that, but because of my grades, they didn't accept me into the school.
Oh, Juilliard.
No, that was Montclair, MSU.
Oh, yeah.
So it was always like my grades suffered because of other things that I had going on, but I still was doing it. I still was going to school. I still was pushing. I still was talking to teachers, doing what I had to do to make sure I met my qualifications. But what I also realized in high school was, yes, college was great. That was good. But there were other options post high school. As an artist, as a performer, everybody is not shooting for a college degree. People are trying to live their dreams or follow their dreams or get more training in that. But my lifestyle, I couldn't really focus on getting more training. Like I needed to go and be able to get a job. I was taking care of myself at this point. So I wasn't really thinking about cultivating my gifts at that time. I was thinking, get out of high school. If you could get into college, great, but you definitely need to start working or doing something. And that's what I ended up doing. I was working and I jumped into community college. And after four or five, maybe 6 colleges, finally got her bachelor's after getting her.
Hey. But mama said you got to bring that home. Your mama said.
I get it. I said, look, she said bring it home. Now, she didn't say I had to do it all in one shot.
Right.
Okay? It took about 5,
I do.
but she did it.
Hey, come on, baby. And listen, it's not over yet because today Miss C is in college for her master's degree, okay?
Fact.
And I know Dr. Morgan's coming. I'm not even worried about that. I don't know how long it's going to take. I don't care how long it's going to take, but Dr. Morgan is going to be in this family. But and so all of this talking about, some of the things we learned as my recovery grew, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're just joining us, thank you so much. I see you all. Oh, I see you. Please drop things in the chat. I really would appreciate that. Please click like and share with someone. We are talking about things your mother never taught you, and it's not a beat up session. No, we just come in with our truths, what exactly happened and what we still need from one another as parent, mother and daughter, and what we still need from, for what she needs from her kids, what I need from my grandkids, and we're going to talk about some of that as well later on. But all of this came, and we're halfway through. We're at half an hour now, so I'm going to switch it to some of the things that we wanted. Some of the reasons we wanted to do this was because we also wanted to talk about health and some of the things that my mother didn't tell me about health. It's like when she died, I didn't realize she had bone disease until I opened up all the papers as I'm looking through insurance stuff in her house, looking through stuff, and it was kind of like rheumatoid arthritis all through her body, which was the onset of her saying, I can't work no more. My mother was a workaholic and hustled. She hustled and worked. Mama would work 2-3 jobs, get the cheese from the line and all that.
Okay. All the resources.
And had a card game on Friday.
Okay.
And a card game on Friday. Okay.
That's correct.
So we never missed a meal, and we never really wanted for anything. We didn't have the best meals. I would like to have steak. When her boyfriend was having steak, we was having hot dogs. Okay. But we was eating.
Okay.
And but the bottom line was I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say.
You were talking about her
rheumatoid arthritis. She had rheumatoid arthritis, but it was all over her body, right? And
you found out
she never once. My mother never taught us about any illness nothing until way later in her 70s, almost close to her death, did we start to really pay attention to. Mommy got diabetes. Only thing we ever really talked about was obesity.
Okay.
Because she was morbidly obese. And that was really one of the only things she would really, y'all gonna be fat like me. You don't want to be big like me. You don't want to be big like me. And she would always say those things. So how does that resonate with you?
But so for me, it's like saying those things, but being conscious enough to provide you with a lifestyle where that won't become you is two different things. And a lot of times we realize our parents aren't able to do that. Sometimes they don't have the capacity to do that because it's a lifestyle that they're used to and their parents were used to. And so who is going to be responsible for breaking that cycle and really focusing on health and what we have to do to maintain it and not just put the fear in us? Because I noticed that I catch myself sometimes doing that now with my daughter, where I'm very conscious on healthy stuff and she'll, healthy choices, not healthy choices. But sometimes I'll say, you want to be fat? You want to be the little kid running around the park and can't breathe? You want to be the girl that's sneaking peanut butter in the middle of the night? Because I used to do that. I used to sneak peanut butter in the middle of the night with a spoon. Okay.
Oh my God.
You can be that girl. I would tell her these things, but I gotta stop operating in fear and not instill fear in her, but just be more conscious on the decision. So if we're not going to McDonald's 3 and 4 times a week, we're not having a snack every day after dinner. You know what I mean? So it's those kind of changes that we gotta make. Yes, we're aware, and now we're making you aware as parents. But now, what am I going to do to get you on that track and give you tools that you can use when I'm not even around, and not just you in your head, you and your mother.
And stop right there. So tell the audience about what I did with you, because I just told you what my mother did.
Yeah, I was getting ready to go into that.
Okay, go ahead.
So it was the contrary for me. I'm very blessed to have been made aware of health things very early on. I was made aware of things that I didn't even want to be made aware of, because that created different fears and anxieties in me. Like, oh, my mom got what? She might got what? Oh, and it was just so many things going around and around and around. And it was just a lot of information, but other things was happening. And even now, like as I go through health things,
Mm-hmm.
would I have liked to know some stuff a little earlier on? Sure, absolutely. But I can definitely say, even with my grandmother, like my grandma Brenda, my dad's mom, she has always been so transparent and upfront with health stuff. And mommy, I remember you literally saying, like, no, you need to know this stuff, especially now that I have a daughter. Like, this is hereditary stuff. These are the conversations that we gotta have. Don't wait until your daughter is now taking you to the doctors to find out about the things that you have. Don't wait until your 12-year-old daughter is now considered obese to have the conversations about being active, getting into some physical activities, or making wise food choices, it's us getting ahead of that stuff and staying ahead and not doing what our parents did. And this is something, this really can go all the way around, Mom, that you taught me a long time ago. You say, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me.
Come on, you better tell it.
That's what you told me my whole life. I want you to be better than me. So that's what I'm telling my kids. Because listen, I'm kind of hot. I did a couple things, and my mama did a couple things, and she's still going. So it's like, for me now, I thought she stopped raising the bar, and now she in a whole nother life, a whole nother level, a whole nother journey. It's like that. So now I'm still hustling. I still got something, but that's how it's supposed to be.
Yes, come on.
Generation after generation after generation, we supposed to be reaching higher and higher and higher. Your mother got a doctorate. Okay, so what you going to do?
Right.
Your grandmother was one of the first to open a business in your family. All right, so what are you going to do?
That's right.
So we got to make sure that we're better than the ones that came before us, and make sure our kids are better than us.
Yes.
And not feel no type of way if they do become better than us. Because that's a whole nother conversation. Because I have friends who have, I have friends that have babies.
Cheerleader.
Yeah, they become jealous and they become jealous of their children and all sorts of stuff. And it's just like, for what? You raised them. You know that, right?
Let me tell the audience this. Listen, y'all. Let me tell y'all this right here. I don't care what it is that Miss T, that lady right there, my child, I don't care what it is that she put her foot forward to do. As long as she wasn't going down a spiral backwards hill, I was perfectly fine with supporting her. She became the only Black woman in a whole city. I was getting ready to say white city, but in the borough. Okay, I was going to say
what it is.
Okay, predominantly white city.
It's definitely Black owned.
Absolutely.
Black owned woman.
Okay, she did a lot of things for the first. Okay, time. Okay, now she's the owner of a consultant of T for Teach consultant. Don't get me started. It did not matter what she wanted to do. What my job was to learn, because I did not know how to do it. My job was to learn how to properly support my adult daughter, because I used to say my only child, did I not? Decades. For decades. How do you support my only child? No. Your only child is a whole woman. And I had to learn how to be there for her. Hi, Tasha. Thank you for joining. Hi, Raina. Hey, everybody. We really do appreciate that. Well, girl, it's hot and juicy. We talking about things your mama didn't teach you. Drop some stuff in the chat. Please click like and share with someone. Ask them to come on by, bring it to the table, because it's burning. We cooking with Crisco today, honey. And we smoking, Tay Tosh. We smoking like a pot of neck bones on a Sunday morning. Hello, somebody. So and that's good that we push each other. And no, let me just say this part too. Your support to me. Let's talk about that real quick, because your support to me in I'm talking about, oh God, I told my daughter to write this book, right? It's called the hell my mother put me through. Did I not tell you to write that book?
Yes.
Why did I tell you to write that book?
We
As
have so many stories and
there's so many
experiences.
twists and turns to our growth and development in our where we are now today
Well said.
spiritually.
Mhm.
That is no people probably wouldn't even believe. They probably wouldn't. They'd be like, "Oh, that stuff ain't happened." Oh, no. She's 30. So what? Don't say her age, but she's 19. All of this stuff really did happen, but so when it came time for the support, it was so hard for me to move forward without her knowing that she is an adult. She's an adult. But a lot of things, here's the truth about our relationship. She taught me a whole lot of stuff. And my 12-step program taught me to be open to it.
To experience.
Yes, to be open to it. Okay. And so, but most families, talking about us, the families, do what I said, and that's it.
Right.
I always gave
do what I say, not as I do. Yada
that was
yada.
my mother. That was my mother. Do what I say, not as I do. But yet I did everything she did. Except cook in the kitchen. I wasn't going in no kitchen. Now I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah, you are.
I'm in the healthiest place that I've ever been in.
But this is what I mean by the growth. It's not stop. It doesn't stop for you, and that's why it pushes. That stuff pushes me to continue to try to be great and do great things, because you're not stopping, and you've already done so many amazing things. But not just career-wise, professionally, or financially. I'm just talking about as a person, your character, just being self-aware, just constantly looking at you and say, how can I be better in this? Or how can I approach this? How could something you said earlier, how can I change this? The first step is my language. Okay, I'm not saying the word child anymore. I'm using the word adult daughter. A simple change as that can absolutely make a world of difference. People say, well, how? They say, if you change your mind, you change your life, right?
Yes,
well, before you can even change your mind, you got to change your language. That's really the first thing. See, a lot of people got that confused.
Yes.
People think that you got to change your mind. That's how you change. It's a cliche now. Change your mindset, you change your life. And that's true. But even before you change your mind, there's some words you got to say to yourself. There's some things you got to read. There's some information you got to absorb.
Absolutely.
And that means your language is going to start changing. Your level of understanding is going to start changing. Then that's going to change your mindset, which will then change your life.
Absolutely.
But what are some things that your mom didn't tell you about family?
Okay, so
you said she had 6. We know, did you talk about grandma getting shot in the book? We know she's had some experiences with men. Like, what would you say were some of the things that she just didn't teach you when it came to families or marriage? And
well, I could tell you this. I'll tell you this. One thing that she taught me, but she was wrong about, and I found out later.
Okay, that's a good one.
It may have. Because me and my mom was like me and you too. Now we was really hoochie crunch, you know what I'm saying? Not like me and you, but like me and you. You see what I'm saying?
No, I know what you mean.
It's like a different era of me and you. It just made me want to do you better, better. And she told me that, before she died, she told me, that, I did a good job, and how proud she was of me and everything, especially it being a mom and stuff like that. And she told me that at the opportune time, because I thought I was a piece that still had to grow. So like I wasn't doing that well. So it was well received, But one of the things that she told me that just I found for me was completely wrong. And one of the things she says, girl, you better get on out. You better take care of your man. Take care of who? You better take care of your man. See, she said, take care of your man, but she never said what you just said. How, Mom? How do I take care of the man? So my perception of taking care of the man was go to work, get the money, give him half, you get half, give him half, y'all split everything, and you do everything for your man. And that's why I had a lot of failed marriages.
And so, with that being said, I can't say that this is something you literally taught me, but I learned through your experiences. And it was this settling. You can go to a place in your life and feel like because it's something good, you just got to keep it because you don't know what's going to come after it. And sometimes we may feel like we make those decisions in settling, whether it's a partner, whether it's a place to live, whether it's a college degree, the place that you're going to go to school at. If it's a safe option, if you can see yourself doing that thing or in that space for the next few years, if we get that because we see, or me, you've seen the failures of people doing it other ways. Or if I saw you in marriages or relationships rather, and I saw your patterns then, and I was like, oh, I don't want that. I know I don't want that. I may not know what I want, but I know I don't want that. And that's something that I definitely want to share and encourage women and moms. It's okay to not know exactly what you want sometimes. But if you know what you don't want,
woo, baby,
that's half the battle. That's half the battle. Sometimes we cannot pinpoint, and sometimes we don't even have the proper words to put into place on what it is that we really want. But if you know the mess that you don't want to deal with in a partner, or the mess that you don't want to deal with on a job, or what you don't want to deal with in just commuting or something like that, if you know what you don't want, that can get you halfway to the things that is actually for you. So yeah, that's something that I feel like I've learned in your experiences. You don't always have to go the safe route because that was somebody else's story. I think it was the fear in that. But I believe everything happened for a reason, and my story is my story, But yeah, that's definitely something that I learned.
That was real good, right? Yeah, that was good. And so there was another thing to answer another part of what my mom taught me a lot. She really did, but mainly I think that she meant well and did the best that she could in her situation. Because like you said earlier, my dad did shoot my mom and left her for dead, and then took me with him on the run. So there was a lot of trauma in my life early on, but survival. That was what I was gonna say next. That was on my what are some things that your mom didn't teach you or touch about surviving? Just surviving. That was what I was gonna say next. Come on, guy. I love that alignment. And it was all about, some people say survival of the fittest and this, that, and the third, because they would say that all the time. No, we really was surviving. We really was surviving. But I got to this place once again when I became educated, because your world's view begin to change once you become educated.
Sure, absolutely.
Your world's view begin to change once you become spiritual. And your world's view begin to change once you get maturity. And your world's view begin to change once life's experiences start kicking you in the butt and you realize, like, man.
And it starts moving you into spaces where more people are on those wavelengths as well.
And
like
now
you start to surround yourself with those kind of people.
Absolutely. And like-minded people. So watch this. And so I no longer want to just survive. I done did that already. I done survived addiction, overcame cancer, and had COVID-19, almost died. Okay. So the bottom line is I've been through all of that. So in my mindset, and it is no more surviving nothing. It's about thriving and living. Allow him to elevate me and walk me into the blessings and the gifts that he got and prepare me for hereafter. That's what it's about right now. And mommy only said, you gotta make it somehow. That was her word. You gotta make it somehow. You gotta make it somehow. I don't care how you do it. Get on out there and do it. And that aligns with when I became Muslim, Malcolm X, by any means necessary.
Sure.
It lined up with that. So, but I'm no longer in that comfortable surviving. I'm out here surviving. No. I already survived all that.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Here's what's awesome about my experience with you as my mom. I feel like I was taught both. Like I really did have the best of both worlds. I lived in the projects and grew up in the projects, but I took vacations all the time.
Yes.
We ate out at restaurants all the time. Matter of fact, you barely cooked because we was always eating out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have definitely had my share of luxury and been afforded certain things. And I really it's like having we did, but you also taught me how to survive. For example, how are we still living in the projects, but you driving a Benz and working at City Hall? That's a skill. You understand?
Come on.
That's a
Absolutely.
skill. You're teaching
Absolutely.
me how to survive, how to make your money work for you, how to use the resources that are available to you as a tax-paying citizen.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then when you
Right.
went on to do your thing as an entrepreneur and your hustles and this and that, and even learning how to rob Peter to pay Paul, if you got 200 of this, but you got $100 bill over here, but you broke, you might not want to pay the whole 100 on that. You may need to pay 50 of it. Like that's surviving. Those are skills that I
Yeah.
learned from my mom. But I
Yeah.
also learned how to take time for myself. I also learned about self-care. I learned
Mm-hmm.
how important it was to have a social life.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was
That's
outside. She was living her
outside.
life
I was
and
outside. I
looking
stay
good.
outside. I
You
stayed
thought little
outside.
Kim had the wigs and the colors and honey, you ain't seen Felicia. She was doing her thing, having
Yeah.
the hair salons and the businesses and still working all of that stuff. She taught me about the importance of being a whole, well-rounded woman. Not
Yes.
just the one that survived, not just the one that's on Medicaid or using the government. No,
Mm-mm.
you use those things for what you need to use those things for until you get your come up and you out of there.
Stepping stones. Absolutely.
Those are the things that I learned from my mom on both ends. And I know a lot of people are not. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are stuck
Yeah.
in the struggle. They are
Yeah.
stuck in survival mode. So,
Mm.
what is the how? How do we get out of that? You surround yourself with people that's not in that. You do more reading, more writing. We're in a whole digital world now. Get
And
yourself
watch
some
this.
online friends, get into
And,
some groups that's
mhm.
into the things that you want to get into.
And
Start to
watch this,
interact
Shay.
with other people.
Hmm.
That's the how.
I love it. That is the how. Those are some really great points. You heard it right here on Bring It to the Table from Miss T herself. Surround yourself with the people, like-minded people, people that are going place. You want to be a doctor, go walk the streets with the white coats down there at University Hospital or wherever you want. You want to be a teacher,
Right.
go hang outside the schoolhouse and talk to the aides in the afternoon when the
Mhm.
kids go to the
Find
playground.
events in
Whatever
your
it is.
area.
Yeah, you have to. You have
Whatever it is
to.
you want to do or get into, you find that tribe and you go to it. It is not just gonna come to you. That's survival though. That's what we're
Here's
used to.
That's what we're used to. But here's the thing that here's a good tip as far as on when you if you want to come up and when you want to go into the field of your choice, your heart's desire. You can't let fear stop you. You got to take the
Mhm.
risks.
Yeah.
You got to pour into yourself because I had to learn that the hard way. I wouldn't do it.
Mhm.
I played. You know, Shay. No, that's too risky. I ain't doing that. I'm not giving them no $1,000 to do all this, that, and the third. No, but when I got here to Atlanta, they was doing things just a little bit different.
Mhm. Mhm.
I saw people pouring into themselves. I saw
Mhm.
people investing in themselves, and fear wasn't holding them back. I saw people
Mhm.
leveling up, and that's what I'm doing now. I'm leveling up. I'm in there in the trenches with the people that, yeah, honey, maybe some concerns, but I really might need to go over there and see what's going on over there.
Mhm.
So you got to be around the people that's going to level you up, and some people that's going, it's going to be all right to take a risk and step out on faith a little something, something. And the truth is,
Mhm.
it's already inside of you. It's already
Absolutely.
inside of you.
Everything you need is inside of you. We know that
Everything you need
one
is
thing for
inside
sure
of
and two things for certain.
you. Mhm.
I want to end with asking about family. What are some misconceptions that your mom taught you about family? What it looks
Family,
like,
I'll tell you one
not
thing.
what
Go
is
ahead. Say it again. Say that again.
I was just saying, like, what is family? What does it look like, or what should it look like? What it's not. Like, what are some
So,
misconceptions about family or raising a family that she may have told
okay.
you?
That's a good question to close with. Thank you for asking that. One of the
Mhm.
things that my mom taught me is that family over everything.
Period.
Family over everything. She always, one of the things that's not a misconception. This is really real. Is that you can't live life without a family. But here's the deal about family. When I found
Yeah.
out,
Who
mommy
you?
ain't say this. Mommy ain't
Now
say
this the
this.
part. Uh-huh.
Mommy ain't say this part.
Who
This
we
is what
calling
I
family?
learned. Family is who you say it is.
Who you say it
Who
is.
you say it is.
That's
Okay?
right.
Because I
Blood
got
definitely don't make
blood.
you
Nope.
related.
And then blood and a misconception, blood is thicker than water. Lies
That's
and
a lie.
deception. Misconception.
That's definitely a misconception from, I feel like,
I got a
our
cousin. I
community.
got a cousin who don't
Lie.
even talk to me right now today, and I still won't even give me the opportunity to tell me why. And she slept in the same bed as me
Wow.
and wore my clothes.
With that being said, that's the thing that I would have to say was like a misconception or something that I was never told, that would change as you get older. That
And
closeness of family, those sleepovers, those everybody over the house for the barbecue, or like that stuff changes as you get
yeah, and
older.
don't hold them hostage though. Stop holding your family members hostage when they don't show up, or when they
Mm,
can't make it, or when they
mhm,
don't do
mhm.
something the way that they used to when y'all was 19 and y'all 52.
Okay.
Come on with
Yeah.
that. You gotta let
Right.
them off the hook. It's called life is life, and people are adults. Like, come on, give it
Right.
a break. It ain't that deep.
Absolutely.
And then go
Absolutely.
do what you're doing for you and yours. That's why I like my sister Latifah. Paul don't play that junk. This me and mine. Me and mine. Yeah, she ride for hers.
Right.
And that's just the way it's supposed to be. What an awesome show. Any final words? I mean, it was really good. Pay attention to your bodies. Please pass the information down to your families. My
Yes.
daughter was going through something, but I was able to. The moment I learned something about finances, credit cards, health and
She
wealth,
tells me about it.
the
Mm-hmm.
moment I learn it, I go and I put it in her plate. I don't care if it's falling over with information. Get another plate and put it underneath. Start stacking the
Period.
plate with the information, okay?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
I don't
Absolutely.
care. Please, when you learn new information, pass it to your family because she needs to pass
So
that down
important.
to her
Right.
kids. Any final
Absolutely.
words? Those were my final words. What's
Yeah,
yours?
those are great final words. I think just encouraging everybody to understand self and understand, if you're a mom, understanding your child, your children and their needs, their personalities, they're people. They are people, they have feelings, and they are absorbing everything. They're
Mhm.
absorbing everything. And no matter what it is you feel like you didn't get from the generation before you, understand that you're still going to do great things. You're still going to be okay. That
Yeah.
God has still placed an enormous amount of information and around you, and things that can teach you what you need. Let me tell you something. I was just talking about, now y'all know I have an issue with my age real quick. I just want to share this. But the M word, menopause, that's been thrown around. Do you know my grandmother shared with me a magazine from November 1987,
Oh,
the McCall
yeah.
magazine? And the whole magazine issue is all about menopause. But the information in there, she said to me, reading that empowered her because nobody in her family was talking about it. She couldn't, and she had a bunch of sisters. She couldn't go to her sisters to talk about the things that she was experiencing. So she had to read it in a magazine. So we have these conversations. So many of you have sisters and brothers and you're not connecting with them. You're so distant. Like, you are all you have at the end of the day, for real, for real.
Yes.
Remember that too. Remember that too. Keep in touch And it's okay if you got to go into a bubble and handle your business and take care of yourself, but also allow other people to help you too. And it's okay to ask for help. And if you don't know what to do, look for it. The
Yes.
answers and the solutions are out there and it's already within you, like Mommy said earlier. Thanks for having me, Mommy. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your Mother's Day.
Thank you so much. I really did. Again, folks, we only got 1 minute. Here's my Mother's Day. I got my stuff. I love you, baby. Thank you
Enjoy
so
your
much. It was an
food. Let me know
awesome
how that
show.
Thai food goes.
I will. Good night, everybody. No
Good
show next week. I'll be at the convention.
Period.
Turning up.
And I'm gonna be with Meg Thee Stallion.
Good night. Thanks for joining. Love you.